As you know, far-left cultural Marxists have turned our education system into an indoctrination pipeline for their radical ideas. Just this week, we saw a couple more examples. In Fairfax County, Virginia, students can now be suspended for misgendering classmates. In New Jersey, parents are suing after seeing curriculum that taught their kids about their, quote, roles in perpetuating racism. Now, I wrote about all of this and the hidden history behind it in my new book, Battle for the American Mind, which is on shelves right now. You know, Ernest Hemingway once wrote of bankruptcy, it happens gradually and then suddenly. When it comes to education, we are living the suddenly. Godlessness and critical race theory were planted in our educational pipeline at the beginning of the 20th century, and we've been playing catch up ever since. Today, we are surrounded. And parents and grandparents need to get engaged now. It's all in the book. I hope you'll check it out, especially ahead of Father's Day and the summer break. Here now for some reaction, author Dr. Carol Swain and my Fox and Friends weekend co-host, Rachel Campo-Stuffy. Thank you both so much for being here. Rachel, suspended for misgendering.
Well, first of all, thanks, Pete, for having me on, and also thank you for putting this very important book out into the universe. We need it now more than ever. Look, this misgendering policy is very subversive. It's about forcing your kids to submit, to say things they know are not true, and to do so because the government says they should. And if you talk to anyone who has escaped communism, whether it was the Soviet Union or Cuba, China, Venezuela, they will tell you not to cooperate with these regime lies. And our children in the school system, Pete, as you know, are captive victims. And they require us to be courageous and stand up for them, whether it's mask policy or misgendering policies. This is very un-American.
Absolutely right. Carol, the idea of kids, high school kids, middle school kids, having to identify themselves as oppressor or oppressed, what effect does that have? New Jersey.
Well, I mean, it shames children and it violates their rights. And I think it's important for parents to get all the knowledge and information they can. And so they need to read books like your new book. I have a book on critical race theory. There's tons of materials out there, and American parents and grandparents are equipping themselves. They are fighting back, and they need to, because our children's lives are being destroyed. Their innocence is being stolen, and the people that are doing it, I think they have evil motives, and we need to fight back.
So true. Rachel, you're a parent. We all know that. What are parents and grandparents to do? We see this. It's seemingly everywhere.
I think both of you would agree with me that the answer is to, if you don't think your school can change, and so many of the public schools can't, the answer is to pull them out, to homeschool, to find a great classical, great books academy that you and I have both found for our own children at great sacrifice, and for me having to drive a long distance, but we're willing to do it because we know it's the right thing to do. I'll say this, Pete, a lot of this craziness came out of the Ivy Leagues that you came from, frankly, and I've known you a long time. People don't realize that I've known you, our friendship predates Fox, and I would say that you've said many times that you would like to return your degree back to Harvard. Maybe it's time that you do that finally. Maybe Harvard wants you to.
Leave it to Rachel Campo-Stuffy. I have said that, Rachel. Maybe now is the time. I have. Maybe tomorrow morning on Fox. Maybe you put me in the spotlight, and maybe now is the time to give it back. They don't deserve.
Maybe we should boycott the Ivy League.
Absolutely. Maybe we should. That's an even better point. So it's a twofer. Now the pressure's on because two ladies I respect immensely have put me on the spot.
I think there's another reason to tune in to Fox and Friends on the weekend now. Let's see if Pete actually returns or tears up that degree.
My Harvard diploma is right across the room here. I'm bringing it to the set tomorrow. I'll see you, Rachel. Thank you both very much. More Hannity after the break.